Hi guys. Um, oh, cool. Okay, so people can actually see this. Yeah, because YouTube kind of changed their settings, so I actually wasn't even sure if I can come online. Hi Andrew. Hi Kazuto. Hi Morales. Um, yeah. So this is really the first time I am streaming after the reboot. So can you actually let me know if you hear this game sound? Because on my stream software there's no sound. I wonder. Do you guys hear the game sound? Let me know if you guys hear the game sound. And I realize I actually can't multitask, so I'm going to not do some things. Okay. There is sound but low volume. Okay, let me try to adjust that. No music. Better. I think there should be some sound now. Okay. Okay, great. So why did you quit, Wanda? I will just do some arena runs. If it gets too loud, then let me know. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, so there's a question for the stream. What do you wish most for 7 Nights right now? Yeah, something I really wanted to talk about because over the course of the past 2 weeks, I feel that a lot of things are changing. A lot of players are changing. It does affect me quite a bit. Hi, Yu Xuan. It does affect me quite a bit, and I just wanted to hear from you guys about the game now. Okay, so yeah, just let me know. Did NM nerf the polishing rate? Honestly, I just felt that polishing was always been really poor, especially at the last 2%. Yeah, especially at the last 2%. And I have been stuck there for quite a while. And things haven't changed, and I just haven't really felt that I wanted to spend more stones on the weapons that I have. So is the volume getting too loud? Yeah, so I just felt that I never really wanted to spend an additional, I don't know, 500,000 power-up stones just for 2 weapons. And I haven't been doing my item rate. I actually did quite a lot before Wukong. Yeah, before Wukong. After the reboot, I think 2 weeks after the reboot, everything was very hot. Everything was very hot, and a lot of players were figuring things out, and it was pretty hyped, honestly. And then after Wukong came, I don't know what happened. Everything just felt like it was going slower suddenly. I felt that I haven't been having that same energy I had in the past. I like the past. I guess because polishing does take that's impact, you know. Because if you subject something to RNG, where a lot, I would say there'll be quite a lot of players who have reached endgame, possibly. I mean, getting mythical awakened items is pretty okay, but polishing it is a very tiring thing. Yeah, that's what I feel. Have you guys been polishing much? I'm not sure. Let me know. Nera says I want smart mode back. Well, yeah, I guess I'm not actually too sure the impact of smart mode will be. I mean, resources when you're not playing the game is a good thing, and Korea still Korea server still has it, so it shouldn't be a big problem in terms of implementation. But then again, Korea server has so many types of resources that it gets really hard to keep up. Yeah. So I guess smart mode for them is still, smart mode doesn't offer everything, but smart mode offers some things. For our case, smart mode offers almost everything. Yeah, and it possibly resulted in players just coming in to get rewards, not playing the game at all, just getting rewards, and get just getting rewards. To them there's nothing much to do. Yeah, and in terms of smart mode, if they were to just implement more flaws, then we will just get you have to deal with those crazier effects, which they decided to all nerf, right? It makes things simpler, so I'm actually quite worried about the new PvE that is going to come next month. They said that it will be a bi-weekly season, which means every 2 weeks the season will end, and during the 2 weeks players will be rushing. Players will be rushing to complete as many floors as possible, something like that. Yeah, as Wanda says, guilds. I think a lot of guilds have taken a step back. Maybe except those top few currently, who have a reputation to maintain. Hi Sabi! And I think, Wanda, if you don't really know how to play, I think there are always a lot of resources out there. Or at least here. You can always come here. Yeah. But I get what you mean, like, not really sure how to play, because there are some days where I feel that when I come into the game, I don't feel the same as I was before. In terms of how do I put this? In terms of knowledge and strength, I guess I would say that, because it's not just about the remakes. I think the remakes we can still get by because only a certain pool of heroes are being used. And I also made a video about how you should gear your Shane, so I think that is pretty straightforward. You just have to look at certain factors, so that is okay. But then it comes to actual playing. Actual playing in terms of I feel that sometimes I can't keep up. Especially with the mythical items right now. I feel that it's very hard to keep up. Hi Bernadette. Yeah, I think if Seven Knights Revolution were to release, of course, I would give that a go. uh, Kabu says he's bored. I think a lot of players are. There's something going on. I'm very sure because I do know some players who have also reflected the same ideas about how there's nothing much in the game. It is a game where you have to um, go in and do your farming. You farm for rubies, you farm for weapons, you farm for stones. Pretty much all these are the most important resources now to get you by. Yeah. Oh, and one thing, forget to say, I actually have a new function on my chat that is called Super Chat. Basically, you have I haven't this since this is the first stream. Yeah, this is some YouTube implementation, of course, and you can use stickers in the chat. Of course, it's it's a little bit there's some money involved, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So if you like this function, then you can use it. No obligation. Yeah, anyway, so I'm back to talking about Seven Knights. Yeah, so about Seven Knights Revolution, right? I am personally not an MMORPG player. I've never played an MMORPG at all. So I don't know how much I will love that game. I will try it. I don't know how much I will love it and be good at it. Yeah. Well, am I bored of Seven Knights? You know what keeps me going? It's really about the heroes. Because I go back to I actually think back why I actually started to play this game. The main reason why I play this game is because I really enjoy the animations. I mean, look at the arena. Even if you don't like the mechanics or whatever, how simplified the heroes effects are, you just cannot deny that there is very good animation. Hi Nabil, right? The animation of Seven Knights, the aesthetic of Seven Knights is something that really appeals to me compared to a lot of other games. There are other games with much flashier graphics, much more 3D modeling, better 3D modeling. But I think for me this really fits. I like there's a slight anime kind of look to the characters. They are not overly human. Okay. Yeah, so that's what keeps me going. And seeing the Korea server push out new heroes, and I'm just waiting for them to come to global and then getting the hero. It is a hero gacha game after all, okay? Yeah, but along the way, of course, I'm trying to keep up my standard of things. Yeah, but recently I feel like I'm not there anymore. Um, yeah, it's a little hard for me, a little discouraging, honestly, quite discouraging. Like, oh, like, it's very hard, but it doesn't mean that I want to give up. I just take things slower. Yeah, and Korea server, as Harsa said, is still active. Honestly, as I'm quite amazed. Because the Korean server has done so many changes, has made so many changes to their game, has added so many things that players have to do. I don't really see a big I don't know, actually I really don't know what if there's any response to it. Haven't really heard much, and I think you guys also haven't really heard too much about it. And not sure if it's because the players there are just too used to things, or you know, they really have nothing bad to say. So yeah, and I'm quite amazed because they recently launched that very pay to win stat boosting system in their server, and like it seems to be okay. I mean, no one I've heard seems to have quit the game. People who I know who are playing are still playing. Yeah. Sabi says he's bored of Seven Knights. I think you're good in, you're also good in King of Fighters, right? Yeah, so at least there's an avenue. And Seven Knights, it's really all about farming now, right, Sabi? Just farm and fight. That's farm and fight. I think rebooting, Bernadette said rebooting made Seven Knights more alive. I would think that it was very, very alive for that first 2 weeks. I really felt like something happened after Wukong came out. Because people I know started taking a step back, started feeling that they didn't want to play the game so much. Maybe life caught up to them. I'm not sure. Maybe they felt like they cannot catch up, like what I feel. So you know they decided to. It's not the right thing for them. Maybe that's the case. I'm not sure. But so many reasons. Yeah. So you know I wanted to make a video. I am making a video, honestly. I'm still making a video. I'm still typing out what I want to say about the reboot 1 month after the reboot. I mean, today it's kind of exactly 1 month after the reboot. So yeah, I'm still doing that. I hope it will come out in the next 2 days, because while do streaming, of course, I can't make the video. But yeah, I would like to hear what you guys have to say, and maybe you know I can have a collective idea, and it will help me say something that hopefully you know the developers can hear. Honestly speaking, I don't know how much. Oh, hi Chum, hi Chum Chum. Sorry, super lag. Hi hi Bald. Bald Sun says it's a shame they don't update the story in global. Hope they add it to make Seven Knights alive. Yes, I think this is something that we have been asking for 2 whole years. Okay, 2 whole years. And there's nothing being done about the story. They always say that they will add things, they will add the story, and yeah, sometimes they add 5 episodes in one go. Yeah, and then they expect us to catch up with things. And then they disappear, and then the story disappears for another 7 heroes, and nothing happens again. For half a year, maybe. Half a year. Has it been half a year? Even Wukong. When Wukong awakens, when Freya awakens, where is Freya's story? Freya's story was not shown, I think. Is it in the game? Not even sure. Wukong awakening, nothing as well. So, not sure the next hero I think will be Eileen or Evan. Okay, because after a new hero, they will always release a hero, an old hero, a mythical awaken an old hero. Yeah. Oh yes, you can feel my what's that? Exasperation. I don't know what's that word. I mean, yeah. Brave King said that the reboot is good, but it feels like something is missing because the special effect on heroes is removed, and this makes the game quite bland. So let's talk about that. So what I personally think about the reboot. On first glance, it looked like, oh, they streamlined everything. They made everything so clear. It's very straightforward. Okay, basically if you are stronger, you will win. Kind of something like that. At that point. And then I think the focus shifted again when Wukong came out, because it shifted to skills. Because Wukong has a revive. The revive makes a huge impact. Yeah. And Caesar has Parasite. So I think they are trying to bring it back slowly. Same as Korea server. If you have been watching the Korea server stuff, if you have been watching the first feature videos I put out about the Korea server new heroes, you realize that they are trying to put in a little bit of effects back into the game. Okay? Like Mist, she has HP caps again. Not that HP caps were totally removed, but HP caps in Korea server I think are pretty reduced. Only a handful of heroes have them. So I think they are trying to mix and match certain things, and hopefully, you know, make heroes unique again. But I don't think we will ever go back to heroes being totally unique. If you want, Caesar having the Parasite is probably as far as it will go. Yeah. Strategies. PvE and strategies. Yes, PvE loss. Actually, I have addressed that before. I would say that they removed the PvE because of the reboot. Because it is incredibly crazy to reboot everything. So they decided, so I feel like the developers decided, okay, we will take this out, and then we will reboot the heroes first and the mechanics of the game. And then after the reboot is done, we will put it back. Of course, they're putting a new PvE mode back, but I'm not sure how that will go. So that's what I feel, that from a developer's point of view, probably they were trying to reduce the damage. Because if you realize Korea server had such a bad reboot period. Okay, I see in the comments you're asking for an account review. Wow. Actually, I really wanted to do it when I hit 7777 subscribers, because then it will be the 7th account review session, and then I think I want to do it pretty long. Yeah, so keep subscribing. Okay. If you really need me to look at the team, you can always drop me a message on my Facebook page and I can check it out. Chum Chum, you don't need the account review. Oh, is Chum Chum gonna sell account to Naofao? Next myth. No, the next myth will not be Fenrir. Next myth should be Eileen or Evan. Yeah. So Andrew says every gacha game needs to make money by releasing OP heroes, and that's how they make money. Yes. I mean, yes, of course, they need to make money, okay? Any company needs to make money, but I think that Marvel does have a good amount of money to even bother with 7 Nights Revolution. Okay, they are not trying to kill off 7 Nights. I feel they cannot kill off 7 Nights. Look at the amount of spin-offs they have made from 7 Nights. Hello, Manu Prince. Look at the amount of spin-offs they made from 7 Nights. 7 Nights 2 No idea where that is, but okay, it exists somewhere. 7 Nights Revolution. Yeah, they're really making it a big deal in Korea and maybe around the world. I'm not sure how much impact 7 Nights has around the world. Probably a lot in Southeast Asia especially. So I don't think they will kill off the game. I think they may refocus a bit, but ultimately this is still the core 7 Nights game. They are still building it on the Korea side. They are just bringing things from the Korea side, and that is what frustrates me more, because when they bring in things from the Korea side and they don't go beyond, how should I put it? Some things they don't bring in from the Korea side, like the story where everybody wants but they don't bring it in, but they bring in a lot of other things. like no, I should correct myself. 7 Nights uses things from Korea, changes them, doesn't follow through well. Look at Brawl. Where is Brawl? Brawl was like so hyped in June. And where is it now? No, it's gone. It doesn't even get a mention at all. And when it comes back, they decided that, okay, we're gonna just give you the same old Shane team with Karon, Hayong, Lina? Karon, Lina, Hayong, and I don't know, someone else. Diao Chan. Yeah, so they I think the second time Brawl came back, it was the same team. They didn't bother changing, and that is what frustrates me. They implement new things, they don't improve it, they don't change it. Look at Siege Defense. You have a very important mode. Okay, Siege Defense is still important, but I expected more. Like, okay, we are gonna defend against the heroes. There should be a strategy, but there's no strategy, and you can even auto it. That was pretty annoying at first. Okay, but then I subsequently realized, and I'll be honest here, I just kind of skipped Siege Defense for last week. So I didn't do Siege Defense, which, oops, sorry to my guilt. And that was what, I was expecting the enemies of Siege Defense to change. I was expecting new effects to come up so that, we cannot use certain heroes, we will use different heroes. I mean, ultimately, I don't mind changing the heroes if the equipments I have are good enough, you know what I mean? Because changing equipments is very cheap, I would say. It's cheap. But now we are using the same thing. Yeah, we don't even spend anything, but there's no brain to it. There's really no brain. You can just let me auto it if I clear it once. It's the same concept they're trying to push. Like, okay, if you can clear it once, then why not you just auto clear? Why don't you might as well put that in for Siege Defense now, because everyone can do Siege Defense, right? Everyone can do Siege Defense once. Just clear the 5-minute round once. Oh. Are we gonna get auto clear for Siege Defense soon? Oh. So just replying a few comments. What hero do I think is coming in the next maintenance? For me, I believe either Eileen or Evan. I think they are way overdue. I think currently the meta is going into a more tanky state. Eileen and Evan is going to supplement that. And then we are gonna have some new offensive hero, I'm sure. Oh, you're from OGC, Wanda. Sorry, I think... Yeah, so... Currently, I think with the mythical awakened item introduced, I think players who, were getting somewhere also feel discouraged. I'm not sure like who out there feels a little discouraged. I thought the reboot was a good thing, and then over time it started to get a little draining for me. Yeah. Oh, I did my siege defense. I already did 3 rounds. So I'm good this week. I'm good. Arsa says 7 Nights is really popular in Indonesia. In 2013 they even become top. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about 2013. 2013? That is 6 years. 7 Nights is only 4 years old. But in any case, I know that 7 Nights has a very big impact in early 2 years, especially around Southeast Asia. I know Thailand has a very big community. I think Indonesia as well. Not sure about Singapore. So yeah, I think in the Philippines it's also big. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Sorawit asks, can I recommend a guild dungeon? Guild dungeon. Guild dungeon wise, is Taka still working since we had Awakened Shin to kill monsters one by one? Taka, I can only say that from what I have seen, Taka is okay for stages with 3 enemies. Yeah. Apart from that, I think he's too slow still. He cannot outbeat Shane in terms of damage. Okay, because everything is about stats now. If your stats, if a hero's stats is not as high as if an awakened hero stats is not as high as the mythical awakened hero stats, then there's no way ever, even if you apply the same buffs to both heroes, right? Same weapons, same pets. So the mythical awakened hero is bound to do more damage than the awakened hero, and that's why you see in arena there are no awakened heroes, maybe except Da Qiao. Yeah, so Shane is still the way to go, and you know, there are some heroes which you do need in guild dungeon, whereby you have Sylvia and Soy, and then you are using Shane, so Lina is her best friend right now. You need Lina and Eileen. They are all BFFs. Yeah, so pretty much that's your core team. That's your core team. Carl asks, best awakened normal heroes at the moment and why? Number 1 is Shane. Number 2, Shane, because she is your DPS, so you do need her. You must have her. Like, you can't go anywhere in the game without her. Yeah, she is your BFF. Number 2 will be Lina, because she is Shane's BFF, so you cannot leave Lina at home if you bring Shane out. Eileen is also part of the Shane gang. Okay, so if you Eileen is not a normal hero, sorry. Okay, Lina and Sig is good. Sig still has his taunt, so Sig is good. You need Sig. Who else? Chloe is very good for raid. You need Chloe to die in raid, so she don't use too much of her skills. Don't waste too much of your time. So Chloe, Shane, Lina, Sig, Chloe. I think Soy is also, Soy and Silver are the guild dungeon specialists, which I've said. So that is a special case. You do need them. And oh yeah, I really did want to make a normal hero video, didn't I? Okay, I will look into that. And who else? Yuri for farming, because without Yuri you cannot farm fast enough. Okay, without Yuri you cannot farm fast enough. So we have Shane, Lina, Sig, Soy, Sylvia, Yuri. Who did I leave out? Chloe, 7 of them. And who else? Spina. You need Spina because we don't have a magic DPS yet. Okay, so you do need Spina and Sebastian. Oh my god, I forgot about him. Sebastian Fina and Sebastian. Sebastian's only for jewel raid though. So actually, if you have cleared level 7 jewel raid, then you don't really have to equip him anymore. So it's basically done. And if you, unless you want to farm for jewels, of course. Yeah, so basically I have 9 on my list, which I think is more than enough for you to focus on if you are still building them. Castle Rush seems a lot easier than old patches. Yes, another thing, Castle Rush. Haven't been playing Castle Rush at all because of auto player. So a lot of players are playing Castle Rush. I think that is the only thing that people are holding on to for PvE. Because I mean Guild Raid, another thing I want to rant about is Guild Raid, because Guild Raid is so easy right now. And yes, I don't have to do them because other guild members are doing them. And is that a good or bad thing? To me, it's one thing off my shoulders, that's for sure. Okay, I don't have to stress about clearing the boss so that we all get the rewards. I think it's less stressful, but at the same time I feel that the rewards are not enticing enough to do. You know, the rewards are just, they don't feel as attractive as before. Ultimately, you'll come to a point whereby you have enough of what you want, and yeah, I just felt that it's so possible to solo a boss so much that it takes too long. You know what I mean? It's kind of ironic, right? Like, there's something that is so easy to do, but yet it takes a good amount of times that you don't really want to do it. I don't know if anyone feels the same way, but yeah. Sometimes I feel that way. Like, oh, I have to sit through 15 minutes because I am capable of killing this boss on my own, but do I really want to sit through 15 minutes of the boss fight? Like, it doesn't feel. And then after this 15 minutes, what do I get? Can I get something that I can immediately use? No, I can't. I get points. I get good points. So I need to wait. So how many of these 15 minutes do I have to sit through until I can only collect one? Probably only one Isabella accessory selector at the end or at mid of the month. Phase review. I will do my phase review when I hit 7777. Okay, I promise. Welcome, sorry. Hopefully Shane will get the 2 times attack back. Shane. 2 times attack. Hi Chris. Nah, it's okay. Still gonna be online for a while. Hopefully Shane gets 2 times attack. Well, she does need that accessory actually. So you can find a way to give her the 2 times attack. Unless you're talking about the skill. I think she technically wow, I have Freya left on the field. Technically, she never actually had 2 times attack in the global server, so. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna switch over and talk about this man because I can't believe my Freya is alone. Freya soloed Wukong, wow. Okay, so yeah. Still just talking about the game. Let me know what do you guys hope for the game. I've been doing a lot of talking, so I just wanna. What do you guys say? What do you guys think? What is it? Okay. Ah, so what else? What else is? Oh yes, and about Guild Dungeon. I'm gonna rant about Guild Dungeon now. Guild Dungeon. Have you guys seen the effects of the 7 nights in Guild Dungeon? Did they change it? Because the last I saw, it was still the exact same 7 night effect as their codex. It's not anything new. It's not anything crazy. I think Rachel actually still has her specialized effects for PvE. I mean, why? If you revamp the heroes especially for Guild Dungeon, then why are you not changing the effects on the 7 Knights, which actually make it so much special, so more special? Because I think it's really nice that the 7 Knights are in their own respective worlds, but the effects of the 7 Knights, really, yeah, I mean, they are difficult to defeat, but in a way, it's also because they have enhanced stats. So if you have much more interesting effects, I think it will be a lot more fun. Of course, one more thing is that Guild Dungeon rewards are so bad. A lot of players are not doing this. Hi Giovanni. A lot of players just don't feel that Guild Dungeon is giving back enough. Look at I think the amount of topaz I need to change traits for a hero for my Shane alone is gonna be more than the rewards that they give me back. Right? It's really crazy. It's very not fulfilling. Super not fulfilling. So as much as I want to put in, I'm still putting in my effort for my Guild Dungeon, but I cannot say the same for other players who already feel like the game has let them down. So yeah, it's really hard, and it does affect me. It really does affect me. Yeah, I think so. The 7 Night boss is just a last minute addition, but they did have 2 whole weeks of no season to work on it. No, actually, I want to say that it's not a last minute decision, because if you guys followed Korea server stuff, okay, you will realize that what we have for Guild Dungeon is exactly what they have for their new adventure. The new adventure farming has a completely new map, new World 1 to 7 map, and each of the map also has the same 7 Knights in their awakened form. It's totally the same. They use that same concept, but of course it is implemented for our guild, our revamped Guild Dungeon. So it's not a last minute decision, but they did not bother to change the skill sets on the 7 Knights. They did bother to change the skill set on Pookie, I think. If Pookie is not even changed, then okay, fine. No, not fine actually. Yeah, so they are the main boss of the floor, so why are you not changing their skill sets to make it more boss worthy? Tankiness is one thing, you can be very high in stats. Can be very high, the bosses can have very high stats, but it doesn't give you an excuse, it doesn't give them an excuse to give us lame skill sets. So we have bosses so the bosses don't really do anything to us. We just have to be as strong as we can in terms of stats to match up to the boss, and that's all. Is that what? Is that even fun? I don't know. feel that way. I would love, you know, when Guild Dungeon was not out, there was a ridiculous last season Guild Dungeon. It was pretty wild when World 10 came out. And all along, Guild Dungeon has been pretty wild actually. Like in terms of who to use, what we can change, what we can test. I think it has all along been pretty interesting. But seeing how the developers are not putting in effort to even change these simple things for the bosses, I think it's very, it really discourages me quite a bit. Thank you. Hopefully those arena videos help, because like I said, I'm not a very good arena player. I do what I can, I ask people, I ask how I can improve, and yeah, this is what I can show you guys. But apart from that, I kind of craft things based on first impression, based on what I think it could work, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll just, you know, look at what people are doing. And basically I think that's one way of learning, and it's always to look to other people. Yeah. Is it just me or some old heroes are weaker than before? The CTCS said that. Weaker, yes. No, actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to answer that question very directly, because in terms of stats, they are buffed. All heroes have buff stats. So strength-wise, I don't think they are any poorer. Okay. In fact, I think seeing them do damage, I still like the fact that we don't have void shields to deal with. That is very good. Although we do have a 3-turn void shield right now, but turns go by so fast, so it's okay. And yeah. So in terms of strength, I think if it's weak, so just let me just use an example, okay? So I can say that my Chris is not as strong as an enemy's Chris, especially if the enemy Chris has very good build. What do I mean by good build? Because some enemies, some of the Chris that you face, they still have they still have physical attack jewels. Physical attack jewel makes such a big difference to your damage output. I can honestly say that, okay? 20% increase of physical attack for your Chris, you're gonna see more damage output. So that, in terms of that, if you're thinking strength wise, it's very subjective. Even if you compare to before, I probably won't see 5-digit damage numbers before, do I? Actually, I do. I know Truth was very strong before the reboot, right? Truth was super strong before the reboot. But then you have this case of there's always this extraordinary strong hero that is not balanced with the rest, and I think the reboot, I would say they did do a good job in streamlining every hero, like making everything balanced. The only thing that ticks people off is that, yeah, the effects look too simplified. So I think that is the issue. It's not about the strength of a certain hero. I think most heroes do have that base level of stats, and then how you want to gear the hero, that is going to make the difference. So I think that is the direction they want to head in. Yeah, basically that's my thoughts on that. I don't particularly feel that heroes are any less strong as long as they get the job done. And the thing is, if you look at arena, 4 out of 5 of the arena heroes are new heroes, so I can't judge them based on whatever they are before. Anyway, right? If you want to talk about Shane, she she still does her job. In fact, she can still outdo damage by a lot of other heroes. So I don't think she is any less strong, you know what I mean. Yeah. And yeah, that battery kill in guild dungeon should not exist, okay? It should not be a thing to even want. Hi Goyle. We have no idea when Evan will awaken, will Myth awaken I mean, but it's either next update or 2 updates later, I believe. Yeah. Yes. Fighter Soul is so... Fighter Soul makes a difference now, I feel. Because the attack stat increase, even though it's just like hundreds. I think right now, even hundreds make a difference. Okay, even 100 make a difference. Yes, and the cast rate. The debuff cast rate increase. Fighter Soul didn't get nerfed. So a lot of very good boosts come from Fighter Soul. And I think, especially and guild buffs. So Fighter Soul and guild buffs are probably the most important things you will want to look at. And previously before the reboot, these two didn't seem to have a very big impact. But right now, yeah, the impact is starting to hit, and another reason is because a lot of players are so near the grade 5 and grade 6, even though it takes a long time, because Fighter Soul was launched way back in April, I think. So by now, a lot of players, if you have been playing consistently daily from there, you should be hitting grade 5 either this week or next week. What skills do I have for fighters? So I am using the first grade is definitely open. Okay, the first grade. Then I'm using physical attack increase because of Shane. Then for grade 3, my emphasis is on physical. Oh, sorry. Grade 2, I place emphasis on physical attack and defense. So I didn't increase my magic attack. For grade 3, it's the increased defense on physical or magic. I placed it on offensive. And then for grade 4, it is taking damage, receives damage less from physical, magic, or universal. So mine is put into physical and magic. Receive damage from physical, receive less damage from physical, receive less damage from magic. My mouth is getting all wrapped up. Okay. And for grade 5, I'm intending to pump into universal, because it's super important right now. All your guild dungeons, your raid bosses are gonna be universal. So yeah. Yeah, so what I'm looking forward next is the new PvE mode. I just want to say here that I feel that it's just gonna be a new Celestial Tower, which kind of disappoints me. Okay, which kind of disappoints me and will disappoint me if it is really just a Celestial Tower. Will 7 Night Story end, or they're just gonna make the story longer than the grinding? It's not gonna end. I can tell you it's not gonna end. In fact, they have a lot of things that are not resolved, and they just keep hopping to the next story. What happened to Evan? What happened to the White Wolves? Nobody knows. What happened to the Dark Knights? Nobody knows. What happened to the revolutionaries? Are they still part of the story? What is Pentagon even doing in the story? Nobody knows. No, Pentagon has no story, no role in the story, okay? Every time a new Pentagon member is released, they are just released because they have to release five heroes just to fill up that slot. I don't know how exactly they are related to the main story. Are they gonna fight Freya? No. Pentagon was hired by Alicia's group to help fight the enemies of Terra, and that's it. And and the new Pentagon member Jahara, where does he even come from? How are they? Why are they so diverse? Nobody knows. They are just supposedly they are guild leaders of different guilds, and they all just formed an organization or something like that. That is what I was. That is what I left off with, and what I left off with was the initial story of Pentagon. Okay, and I thought that was really cool. Like, wow, if you really have five very cool characters, in this secret organization, these five bosses. I think that was a very cool concept, and I thought, like, Ares had the ground dragon. Ares uses the ground dragon, right, as her element. So I thought maybe the future Pentagon members will all have some kind of mystic power or something like that. And then no, Clemith came out. Clemith came out with some universal thing. Like, she is a support hero in Korea server, so let's just be clear about that. She does have her utility. I won't fight that. And then I remember very clearly that between Clemith and Orca, there was a very, very long gap. I almost felt like they gave up building the Pentagon, because in between they had Myth Awakening, and then they wanted to finish off with Awakening Karma and Yonhee and all those Fallouts of O. What even happened to the Fallouts of O, we don't even know. Okay, yeah. So between Clemith and Orca, there was a huge gap, and then when Orca came out, he was the second hero to get Mythical Awakening after Truth. And he came from a totally different place, and he had totally different aesthetic, so I really didn't know where they were going with that. And then Caesar came out, Caesar is here now, and then we have Jahara, who's another completely different thing. So yeah, I don't know what is going on with that group. I don't even know all those blue heroes, honestly. I just feel like they are created just to be created, because they don't have a very strong plot point at all in the story. They are just filler special heroes, just to annoy you when you spend your rubies, because you always get Elicias, you always get Aquilas, you always get Takas and Cow Herons, right? Yeah, so whew. I'd rather see all characters die than seeing them fight for no reason, and that's when the story gets interesting, because nobody lives. Yes! True that, someone should die. Every time, this is a typical anime plotline. If someone is supposed to die but didn't because they have Nakama power. You know what I mean? They always have Nakama power and they don't die. And then it just gets into this shonen manga kind of vibe. Nobody dies, everybody lives happily ever after. So yeah, someone should die. Freya. I think Freya's story is way too... It's not developed to the maximum yet. Akame got killed. Wait, what? I thought people do die in the anime. I did watch that. I was pretty sad that one of the female characters died super fast. Cause she looked like she was gonna do good stuff, and then nope, she died. Yeah, so I don't think, but the thing is, you know, for a game like that, if they actually make one of the characters die, then it's basically you're cutting off your own road for further development. You know what I mean? Like, let's just say that what if Rachel really died back then? Remember how Rachel awakened? How Eileen awakened? Both of them were almost killed by Galidus, right? Imagine they really died back then. You're not gonna have mythic. You're not even gonna have awakened Rachel. Wait. Yeah. You're not gonna have awakened Rachel. You're not gonna have awakened Eileen. So they probably can't kill off characters just like that, even if they wanted to. Because then you won't have what's that, the space to build upon that character. And then what if that character, people are still gonna use that character? You cannot just, you know, if a character dies, you're not gonna delete it from your game and server. People will still use that character, and you cannot, oh, I'm facing Da Qiao. You cannot just pretend no longer exists and you don't work on that character, right? Yes, I agree though. Mist. You guys haven't watched the Mist trailer, do go watch it. I think it's one of the best things I've seen from Seven Knights. And I thought like they cannot outdo themselves. But Mist's trailer is really one of the best things. Rachel fighting Wukong, because I think in episode 3, if you go watch the in-game story in Noho's collection or something, if you watch in episode 3, Wukong actually kidnapped Rachel. Yeah. So Rachel was defeated by Wukong. Wukong took her away or something. So I think Rachel was trying to get her revenge. Yeah. I would strongly... I'm just gonna give you the link. For raid. This is my raid playlist. Just go check it out. It will answer all your questions. I also have where's that? I also have a 4th anniversary playlist. So this one contains everything about the reboot, what you need to do, who you need to build. So I think it will help you a lot. So yeah, do you guys feel like there's a slowdown in the game? Cause can I just be really honest? So Caesar came out. I made videos for Caesar, and I think after the update day itself, the hype just died. I didn't get many views. So it was very sad. I didn't get as many views as I thought I would, because usually when there's a new hero, people want to check things out, but no, something just didn't feel as something didn't feel the same. Yeah, just feel like people are not really watching anymore. Not really checking things out anymore. So yeah, I'm not sure. I do. Archer, please check the video. Everything you need really will be answered in those videos. If you need more help, you can always message me on Facebook. Got a Facebook page. Yeah. Basically, what you need to equip your heroes with, everything will be. I will explain everything in the videos. Cause no point making a guide without showing the equipment, right? And then okay, I think I really have to start working on my I really have to start pushing out my beginner's guide, which I have delayed for so freaking long. It's been 5 months. Okay, since the Mythical Awakening update, it's been 5 months and I have not pushed it out yet. So I'm very sorry. There's so many changes. So I think with the reboot, I've gotten that out of the way. I will start focusing again on the beginner's guide and then everything should be clear, but at the same time, there's this annoying PvE mode that's gonna come, so they just add new things and then I feel like I have to wait. You know, I have to wait for them to I have to wait and see what I can really push out. I don't want to push out a guide 2 days before the new thing and then it becomes useless. Yeah, you know what I mean. Do I think the CTCS says us, do I think the reboot was a good idea? I think there's good and bad. Of course, everything has good and bad. I think the good was that everything is streamlined now. I think the bad part of it may not necessarily be about the reboot. The reboot itself changed the game mechanics and the hero's skills. Okay, so the reboot itself is a good thing, but what they are not doing about the whatever that was before the reboot, what they are not working on about the current modes, what they are not changing about the reward system, what they and the new mythical awaken items that was introduced with a very bad polishing rate. Those things are what is hurting the game more than the reboot. The reboot itself gave the game more attention. People came back for the reboot. But how people navigate their way and progress is another thing altogether, and these things should have been resolved way back when they launched the new modes. I'm glad that Raid did get a cost drop. It made more sense to do Raid. But at the same time, it makes the game a lot more grindy. Yeah, I hate that word because in the past 7 nights it never ever felt grindy to me. Okay? Yeah. And now it does get to that point whereby you have to really put in time. Have to let the game run. Okay, to actually get stuff. So if you don't have time to play, you decided that okay, today I'm not going to farm for anything in my game, you're gonna be 1 day behind, and you're gonna be 1 day behind in terms of resources. Yeah. So what they said when they launched Raid and took out World Boss and Smart Mode, what they said was, we want to give players a freedom. We want to give players freedom in terms of, you know, having choosing when they can get their items. So you get your progress is determined by how much time you have, basically. Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, of course, so if you work hard, you get better rewards, right? That makes sense. In the world, that makes sense. Because in the world, no one is gonna give you resources for free, like how smart mode was, right? And yeah, so unfortunately, that's the logic that it has to go by. I'm For myself, I have done my part in terms of farming. I did farm quite a bit, and then I realized it's very tiring, very tiring because the results of that farming didn't come to wasn't very successful. The polishing is just crap. Yeah, so that was very discouraging. I think in terms of luck and RNG, if a game actually discourages you, makes you feel like you cannot move too often, I think it's not very nice. Okay, so some players will tell you otherwise. Some players say you just need more time, you just need more resources, and you will get it. Yeah, but the thing is, I did do my part, right? I did do my part. It's not that I did not do my part and I expected good things to happen. So that wasn't the case. I did do my part. I'm not getting what I hoped to get. That was really that sometimes really just makes me feel a little discouraged, and that actually doesn't make me want to put in as much effort. You know what I mean? Archer asks what are some PvE heroes. Well, if you watch the guides, then you will know the PvE heroes' names like Shane, Sig, Lina, Soy, Sylvia, Spina, Sebastian, Chloe, Kagura, Eileen, Yonhee, Yuri. Yeah, Shane, Yuri, Yonhee, Rachel, Abgon. Wow, I'm listing more and more. I did have basically the entire I have a video on hero reboot, hero selection for the jumping check-in, right? Shh. Sorry. Yeah, so basically I recommend heroes based on their utility in terms of PvE. I don't recommend heroes for PvP because I think players should never start off with PvP. Is Clemif gonna be in the meta? I think she is being used, but she is not a must to be used, so she will not be in the meta. But her revamped makes her a little bit more useful. She does have a lot of awaken gauge reduction. So if you want to use Clemif, you should really give her skill use increase. But do note that by giving her skill use increase, you kind of change the dynamics of your team, because if a hero has higher skill use chance, then another hero will have less priority. Am I right? Even if because if you give both heroes high skill use chance, then it's just kind of defeats the purpose, unless you really keep it to 2. If you give all your heroes increased skill use chance of 4 heroes, then there's really no point, right? So Clemif will, if you want to use her for her skills, then increased skill use chance will be recommended, but that will cause certain changes to the dynamics of your team, because you also want Caesar to have increased skill use chance, right? So that's some things you need to think about if you want to customize your team. So Naomi says reboot makes it easier for the newbie just by doing raid and adventure. I mean, raid and adventure are very important for any player. So if a new player is more hardworking than an old player, then naturally the new player will do as well as the old player. Okay, and the only thing that holds a new player back for the short beginning will be the amount of soul essence, will be the amount of stones they have, but they can successfully farm rubies. So if they decide to use rubies to replace the stones for polishing, that is also a possible way. So it doesn't mean that new players are totally cut off from the new processes that we have. Yeah. Noah asked what accessory should I slot for Chris. I'm using Chris with Guardian Ring and Hide. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing, Randy. So yeah, I'm using Guardian Ring and Hide for Chris. Yeah, Clemis is not a damage dealer for sure. She is a utility hero. She is there for support because both her skills reduce awakening gauge. She clears debuff. Does she? Can't remember. I would do guild dungeon content, but I put my guild's I respect my guild's decision. So if my guild feels that guild dungeon content is gonna affect the guild, then I kind of respect that. So I don't do guild dungeon content. And I know a few YouTubers do guild dungeon content. The thing about doing guild dungeon content for the public, from what I've seen, those that you have seen on the online is probably because they have already finished their guild dungeon, so they're okay with sharing the strategy, or if they know that things are gonna change. Okay, so that video technically only can last for one season. No, not even one season, half a season. And yeah, so I kind of refrain from doing that because if it only makes sense, what should I say? I don't want to. Yeah, mainly the main reason is because of my guild. Okay, I don't want to do anything that harms the efforts that other guild members have put in. Yeah. Yes, that is so true, Chris. I think you and I both feel that when people leak things, it will affect all the hard work that we put in. I hear an ambulance, but okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that I still am processing how I should actually make that video. The video about 1 month after the reboot. So from what I've seen you guys been saying, it doesn't I think it's pretty much the same as I think what the community feels. The community, when I mean community, I really mean the 24 of you watching and those who have watched and left. yeah, so I really feel like we all kind of feel the same way. We all kind of feel like something's not right, something is not there yet. We're just playing, but something is not. Will you call it fun? Because I don't feel like it is so-called fun, you know. Yeah. Hi Z. Yes, Chris. I agree. Because the lesser you have to play with, then of course each round becomes so much more important. But of course, in future when you have more rounds, then the later ones become more important. So nobody's gonna care about the World 7. Yeah, the game has changed a lot. In the course of this 1 year, you know, being on YouTube, the game changed so much. It's crazy. It's not even the same game like half a year ago. It's totally different. Of course, the ways of doing things are also different, but the idea is the same. The idea is still the same, whereby you want to get better weapons, you want to progress, you will progress somewhere if things are right. Right now, you know, when I feel like I need to tweak my arena team, it is about strategy actually. So before this, when I was using my arena team, I actually had wow sleep. Okay, I actually had Hyde on Wukong and I actually had Galida's Madness on Freya. Now that didn't work out very well. So after I decided to follow the advice given by my friend, okay, I'm screwed. Thank you, Da Qiao. So okay, paralyze is gone. Okay. So after I felt that it wasn't doing so well, and I listened to what my friend told me to do, whereby I swapped the height onto Freya and I swapped the madness on Wukong, and then you get this magic. You get this magic. Yeah, okay. So basically that's something. I really think that there is some form of strategy, there's some form of thinking. The top players are doing the thinking, of course, and we are all just following. And honestly, yeah, honestly, it's still the same, right? People are just following what the top players do. The top players kind of dictate the meta. There is still a meta. It's not that you can use any hero you want. You can't just throw in. You can't just throw in like Ingrid. You can't just throw in Atalanta and expect to be in the top. You cannot just form a team that you like. I mean, you could, but it probably won't match up to all these mythical awakened heroes anyway. So yeah, that's the thing. The meta the meta is there, but how you gear your heroes, what kind of accessories, jewels you give them really do make a difference, and I totally see it. Okay, I can really say that I see it because previously when I didn't give my Chris physical attack jewel, he wasn't doing as much damage, and then when I gave him that physical attack jewel, you can really see that his damage output is a lot. His counter damage is much higher. Yeah, so the stat boost, the stat changes, it will be accumulative and it will show a difference, and then all those other extra effects like hide and taunt, it will affect your match great it will affect your matches greatly. Sorry. Yes, you should put hide on Freya, I feel. I think that is what a lot of players are doing right now. Yes, Chris, I agree also. People are still stuck with that notion that, people are still stuck with the idea of the heroes with the before the reboot. Like if Truth was good before that, then people feel that she should be good now. But let's just be honest. even if the reboot didn't happen, you will not be using Truth 3 months, 4 months, 5 months after. Okay, Rin is a special case. Rin stayed on the meta for so freaking long. Okay, Rin was a special case, but if you have all these new mythical awakened heroes coming up, you're probably gonna extrude sometime. Yeah. Wait, she's still my attack leader? I mean, she's still my leader? Probably gonna get that changed. Yeah. The meta will change. Even without the reboot, the meta will still favor the newer hero. And that was the problem, right? That was the problem. You still have in the past, the only reason why you have older heroes coming back was because they had team supporting effects. You have Rin and Ribu who actually had effects that were being supported by the team. But if you look at the current heroes, they don't really support the team. Every hero for himself or herself, right? Actually, I'm not even sure if that's a good thing. I think the diversity, the lack, I think that's where some diversity can be lacking, because currently we have heroes. Yeah, I'm really not sure if that's a good thing. I mean, and as I'm talking to you guys about this, I have thoughts just coming into my head randomly, so it's quite messed up. I guess in a way you can argue that when heroes do not have supporting effects for others, when you have heroes that um, do not rely on others, it makes things more flexible. You can take them out, you can put them in, you don't have to worry. Unlike before, when you want to use Rin, you have to make sure you have 2 other magic heroes on your team. And that would only be possible if there was a good magic hero being released. So if there was no good magic hero being released, you had a physical meta or something like that, you cannot use Rin. Rin will just take the back seat. Same with Ribu, even if there was a physical meta, doesn't mean that Ribu can be used, because if his skill set wasn't on par, if his skill set, okay, if he reduced less buff duration, if he reduced less void shield, if he was just not efficient enough, then you're gonna have a problem, you won't use him as well. So the reboot made everything flat. Bring it back to ground. Bringing everything back to ground. You have buff duration reduction of 1 turn across most heroes. You don't have the void shields anymore. So the rest of the damage and all that, it's really about gear. There's no more who does more buff duration reduction, who does more void shield reduction. There's no more this kind of climb upwards, because eventually they will hit a point whereby you're gonna have 9 turn shield, 9 turn reduction, all that kind of thing. That's not what they want, that's not what we want. Then all the heroes is just gonna be less good, because you're gonna have heroes with 2 turn reduction, you're gonna have heroes with 9 turn reduction. That's not gonna make sense at all. So the reboot is the reboot bringing everything back to baseline is good. Yeah, and I think some people just still get stuck with the idea that certain heroes should be better than others, but at this point, no, really, every hero minus Wukong. I think Wukong is just pretty OP at the moment. Every hero is dependent on how you build them. So to answer the questions there, Noah, yes, put height, and Skylord Demons, put height on Caesar. Actually, that is something that I talked about in the Caesar video. I felt that with height, his survivability would be a little bit higher, but I'm not sure if that will be the best, because you what do I have on my Caesar? Oh, ouch. Oh, this is my first loss. Or second loss. Every time I think I just jinxed it, right? I was doing fine until I said, yay, this magic, and then everything started getting bad. Yeah. On Chris, yes, you should put the 2 basic attack. I think that one makes a big difference as well. If you saw just now, right there in the video, his effect attack, how much did that do? How much did the enemy did with the 2 time basic attack? It's huge. Huge, huge, huge. So about height on Caesar, I also considered that. I also considered vigor. Currently my Caesar has madness, but I'm not too sure if that's the best thing. I think height is actually a very meta effect on most heroes. Okay, because height prevents you from being countered, and I think that is super important right now, especially for the tank heroes. Yeah, Chris's counter is super painful, especially if he procs the crit and the effect attack, and all together it can just reduce like 38,000 HP. If that's even a thing, because the damage says that, right? 22,000, okay, 20,000 HP. It's a lot. Yeah, I think vigor is a good thing, because I have seen I have seen some heroes sorry, I've seen some players use vigor. I faced Caesar with vigor. His heal was he healed 3,000 HP with just one skill. Okay, that's excluding all the parasite heals he will get if he lands the parasite. So that is pretty significant, I would say. 3,000. 3,000 can, I think he can live one more basic attack. Yeah, or if you have good block on him, he can live like, it just makes him live a little longer. And he doesn't have self-sustaining moves besides the parasite, and that's provided he really lands it, because that is still based on chance. If you are so unlucky, even with maxed out debuff cast rates and he doesn't land the parasite, then you pretty much don't have your recovery. Oh, increase, I think you should have the increased debuff cast rate on Chris as well, but one thing to know about that, I'm not too sure what the top players are doing because I haven't been looking at their Chris, but one thing about that is because people do have very high debuff, death resistance, using the traits, death resistance on their heroes. So based on what I have been observing from my side, the only time I really land the death debuff is with Chris's effect attack. Most other times I don't land the death debuff at all, and it's been a while actually since I've seen death going off in the arena. So if you feel that the enemies you face are not very well built in terms of resistance, I think you need the cast rate for sure, because cast rate makes your matches so much more efficient. And yes, having 2 times basic attack means that there is 2 times to proc the death. If that's what I understand correctly, of course. And that's what I feel, because the death proc is independent of each hit. Technically, it should be. The darkness tarnishes and the light intrudes dark. Can't stop me. You cannot stop me. Now fall. Yeah. Whoa. Sorry. From now on. Yeah, Chris is just there for damage now. Death resist. Really don't see death at all. Oh, there's death there. No, is that death? Yes, that's death. But it's very rare, honestly very rare. Like in oh, okay. So like, oh look at that damage. I don't. How much did he do? Yeah, so 2 times basic attack and effect attack. Huge, huge, huge damage. Well, Nox. I don't think Nox can make it at all in this level of arena. Okay, in maybe in lower tiers, Nox can still be used, but not definitely not here. Here, every Nox will get bullied to death. If there was a status called bully, yeah, Nox will be there. Nox will get it. Eliminate, yes, eliminate still works well, of course. Eliminate is pretty OP. Actually, I felt that battery has always been good. It's just that at some point people didn't use her because there were other heroes who probably can do a faster job than her, you know. But to me, she has always been good because eliminate is something so unique to her. No other hero has eliminate. So yeah. So we'll see how things go. I felt like Death Spike also kind of took a back seat. He used to be more active. He used to be more active on Mobirum. He will always post developers notes every week, and then subsequently it became once in 2 weeks. Yeah, so that is what I felt. I felt like I could also sense some form of less effort, but then again, I think I think with the period whereby World Boss and Smart Mode was announced was removed. I think that's the point where he started to change. Where people just kept shooting him down. Oh yeah. Oh, I feel like he himself, maybe his team as well, also feel discouraged by the response. The response wasn't very good at all during that period, and I feel that they were working towards the reboot. They were really hoping that to do a good job for the reboot, and in that period they couldn't say anything, they couldn't respond to anything because I believe that they removed things because of the reboot. Right? I believe that they really took out modes because they feel that they couldn't handle all that change in one update. So they decided to take them out first. And yeah. But I mean, players being players, they didn't want good stuff to be taken out. People got so used to receiving passive income. I mean, which game really gives you passive income like that? I always felt like Smart Mode was super genius. It actually made you want to play the game. Like, it made me want to come back and collect my rewards, making sure that I don't hit the limit so that my rewards can keep coming. But at the same time, I guess don't I don't know. I don't know a very good reason besides that they couldn't afford to make a big change, so they took out things first. But beyond that, I really don't know. Yeah, I can't wait for Mist as well. I think Mist looks amazing. And the story for her is so sad. So sad. Actually, Chris, maybe you can tell us what's the main thoughts of, I don't know, in the other communities, if you know, because from what I hear, I mean, I don't really get exposed too much. So if you guys actually know the general feel of people, of players from other 7 Night communities, feel free to share them here. I would really love to hear it. Yeah, when things get difficult, people always complain. I mean, humans being humans, right? When things change, people complain because people are not used to change. People don't give change a chance, basically. I mean, look at the amount of people slamming the reboot even before it happened. And I'll just be honest here, you know that I don't think people know this, but there have been players who got shot down just because they shared a different opinion. Okay? There have been players that have been kicked out of certain places. There have been players who decided to step out of the community because a large majority of the other players who feel that the game is dying or whatever is just constantly shooting them down. So even if you decide to have a slightly more positive outlook on things, you'll get shot down. Like, personally, yeah, I was one of those who felt that, you know, why you should just wait for the, you should have just waited for the reboot to then see what happens, right? But no, people just kept telling me that the game is dying, the game is not gonna be good, blah 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 blah. And I just felt like all those comments it opened my eyes to the community, like, oh, so there are really so many people who who don't really like the game. So why what's your intention? Why do you need to keep emphasizing that you do not like the game? Yeah, I actually wanted to say something about it, but I did not. Okay, I did not back then. I felt that, okay, maybe it was not necessary, maybe let's just wait. Okay, I just wanted to keep quiet. Then I felt like, yeah, it was quite it affected me a bit. Like, don't know why people are doing that. People are free to express their opinions, of course, but if you try to put your opinion onto someone else when someone else is just also offering their opinion, then I'm thinking, like, what is your purpose? You know, what is your purpose of going your way to announce that you hate the game, to announce that the game is dying? What is your reason for announcing these kind of things? Like, why do you have to say it? Right, I don't get it. Oh yeah, basically that was something that happened. And then the funny thing was, so this is the plot twist, after the reboot happened, all these players just shut up. right? All these players just kept quiet. They just disappeared from my online radar. Honestly, they just gone. They didn't even say anything. So to me, it was super hypocritical. Like firstly, um, you weren't even really you weren't really even thinking about what could happen and what should. Yeah, you just were hating for the sake of hating. Okay, you weren't even like open to anything. If you really didn't like the game, then you should have just left. Okay, honestly, if something made you so unhappy, then what is the point of keeping it in your life? But people were just there to announce their hate. They just had a problem to voice out. You know, like, oh, the game is dying. Yay, I'm so happy that I left the game earlier. Like, why do you even need to say that? Like, if you just leave, why are you still in the group? Okay, if you are really not playing the game, then don't be in the group to say these kind of things. Like, you're just waiting for a chance, waiting for a thing to pick on. But I think that is a problem. It doesn't mean anything beyond that. Beyond like you as a person, you know, who has some issues. And then when things get better, I don't see them at all. Like they're really just gone. And there was someone that I said like, oh, you're back. Then he said, yeah, I wanted to give it another try. Like, okay, that's good. So yeah, there was just a very crazy period that I think even Death Spike got affected. Yeah, as Chris said, people don't want to spend time learning everything again. And if you don't want to spend time learning everything again, and then you say that the game is bad, then I think that's on you, not the game. Because the game has done what it did to restructure everything, to make it more fair. Fair in terms of hero building and hero team composition, by the way. I don't mean fair in terms of rewards, because I think the reward system can always be improved, but yeah. I think Death Spike didn't say much. Okay. I'm not sure how things can be mistranslated. But personally, okay, when I read the dev notes, when I read the changes, I felt that he was just giving you a sneak peek of what's gonna happen. He talked about the changes like the speed turn changes, the lethal changes, and he didn't say anything about the stat change. He didn't say that the focus is gonna change to stats. That was something that was interpreted. Okay, so if you interpret wrongly and then you blame someone else for it, then shouldn't it be your responsibility to wait till the person clarifies instead of concluding that things are wrong? And I do want to say yes, maybe there was just not there was a lack of communication. But a lack of communication is not a miscommunication. So if there was a lack of communication, then the only thing you can do is to wait. If he said something wrongly, if he said that this thing is gonna change, if he outrightly said that something is gonna change, and then that really pissed off people, then fine, yes, then that is something to argue about. But the thing is, he did not say anything much. He only gave you a sneak peek. He gave everyone a sneak peek. And what we can, and I've made videos about the developers' notes. I have made predictions of what could have happened. And I wasn't mad because I don't know how it will turn out, right? I don't know how it will turn out, so I cannot cannot really say it will be good or bad. So that was my whole point when I was talking to some of the players who were just, screaming and shouting, they are voicing out their very negative opinions, just because things didn't go the way they want. So if things didn't go the way you want, and then you try to enforce your ideas that things are bad, then I think that doesn't look very right to me. Yeah, basically that's what I wanted to say. But sometimes talking to these people, it's a bit it's a bit hard because they are so fixated on their point of view. There's nothing that you say that can change that, and neither do I really need to change the opinion, because your opinion is what you have. What I can tell you, or what I can say, is that you just have to wait and see how it plays it out for you, right? Of course, at the end of the day, you still feel that the game sucks, then by all means, then don't need to play it, right? I'm reading comments, so yeah, a little silence. Like I'm reading what Aldis is saying. I'm not believing that the game is dying for sure. It's just that some people do. So there are things that can be improved. There are things that can be improved, and I think there are a lot of things that can be improved now, because the mood that I get from a lot of seasoned players, people who have played this game since 3 years ago. The mood that I get is that they are tired. They are tired of the game. And that is what affects me more. That is what affects me more than those people on social media who are saying that the game is dying. So those people on social media who are just being negative for the sake of being negative, I really don't I really don't, to put it bluntly, I really don't care about them. Okay, because if they are just there to hate on something, waiting for a chance to pick on the developers, waiting for a chance to pick on anything that can go wrong, then that is their issue. But affected I'm more affected by the players who have been playing for so long, and then slowly seeing them feel that the game isn't as interesting, isn't as fun. I think that is more concerning to me, because these players, Seven Knights has been part of a lot of these players' lives daily. And I think most of their accounts are really well built. But when these players start to feel that the game isn't offering them as much, I think that is where we should really start to look at. And it's unfortunate as well that these players also don't have the energy to voice out anything anymore. Okay, so leaving the game is their best way out, so that they don't have to make this an obligation. When a game becomes a burden, then things start to go bad among the community, I feel. And I think this game has started to become a burden for those seasoned players, and these seasoned players are people who I've talked to, people who I have known for many months, and that is what bothers me. And I feel that there's a lot of things that can be worked on. Yeah. And there are people that aren't, again, as much as there are people leaving, of course there are people joining, which is something that is very nice, because there are always new players coming, talking to me about, asking me stuff. And of course it's very heartening to see that the reboot did really bring back a lot of people, bring in a lot of people, and bring back a lot of people. Yeah, and as Noah says, sometimes relearning things can be fun, but of course that is very subjective. Some people don't like to relearn things. The fact that some people don't like feeling like a, to be the fact that some people don't like feeling like they are a noob again, I think that can also tick people off. Yeah, I think they can also take that can really affect people. Like if you have worked so freaking hard for this game and then suddenly you don't know anything. I know that it is your, I know, I would like to say that it is, yes, it is their responsibility to go figure things out, but on a more emotional and psychological level, you know, if you suddenly feel like you don't have the control over things, I think the impact is very immediate. Whether it is, whether to say it is your own problem or not, you know, the impact is there, and I think that is what affects players. Yeah, and that's just what I'm justifying. You know, it doesn't mean that everyone is the same. Just I just feel that it is a pity if these players leave, and yeah, yes, World Boss is not back. PvE mode not here yet. That is what we are missing. But okay, I just want to shift the attention to the new PvE mode. Okay, if you guys have seen Celestial Stairs, have you seen the Korea server Celestial Stairs? Basically, it is like our old school Celestial Tower. Yeah, basically it is an old school Celestial Tower, which is very concerning for me because um it's not something new. Okay, it is not something fresh. It is gonna be a tower where we're gonna rush up in a span of 2 weeks, see how far we get, and then probably get ranked based on that. Yeah, the Korea server one is 3 hero team. I mean, that could be pretty interesting. I think that would make sense for it to be interesting. That would make a lot of sense for a variety of team compositions. Yeah, so maybe that would be the factor that I really want to have. That would be the feature I would wish they keep from the Korea server. But if they don't, then it would really just be another Celestial Tower, and I don't want that. And hopefully it won't be, you know, hopefully it won't be just Shane, Eileen, Lina, Shane, Eileen, Lina, Shane, Eileen, Lina, and then this bulldoze through with these 3 heroes. That would be super not interesting. Okay, honestly. Hi Brandon, don't worry. CTCS, I wonder if 7X can be a good enemy. Yes, it can. Totally can. I think a couple of live streams ago we were talking about this, whether 7X can be an anime, and then we even went on to break down the story into several different anime arcs. I think it's totally possible. Yep, so about the new PvE mode. Yeah, the 3-man Celestial Tower, I mean, that could be interesting. I hope it would be interesting. I really hope they look at the hero skill sets, but I think it's just gonna be the same as the Codex, because if it's anything like Celestial Tower, it will just be normal hero skills. It won't be like Guild Dungeon. Yeah. Yes, the Brawl. Brawl is sadly not seen anymore. Brawl is an event mode. Yeah, and I think that those two bosses would have been very interesting to play with, play against, fight against. That could have been World Boss 2.0. World Boss 2.0, but no, it's not happening. It just became a mode of skill and muscle memory. I would say skill because you really do need to tap those things well. And muscle memory because you can actually, if you actually put in a lot of effort, you can actually how would I say, memorize the places where the, what's that called? The buttons, knobs, whatever that's called, are gonna come out, and that is going to help your timing. Now I really want a good boss fight. That's what I really want, and we have that in raid, but okay, raid being raid, it's auto and it's clearable, okay. And then we have guild raid. Guild raid was interesting. Isabella is still a legit boss. Okay, so if Isabella Isabella players and many people who have tried Isabella would say she is a legit boss, and that is something that makes things very interesting. You can have seasonal bosses, I don't even mind, but make it challenging, the rewards, make it cool. Male or female teams. You know, I have actually kind of felt like they should have a separate arena mode and make it unique. Yeah. Unique in the sense that, how should I say? I wanted to have the idea of something like Guild War, like you have banned heroes and you will force players to use certain other teams, certain heroes. But then again, there is going to be a bad part to that, because then you have players who are going to change equipment, and currently not many people have that many equipment to shift around. And I think they just really can't. You cannot make a new mode, and don't provide enough for it. You know what I mean? Yes, Naomi, yes, normal heroes only. That was my live stream. If you haven't watched my live stream, I'm gonna promote that. I want to do this again, but I really need the I really need people. So this, I've just pasted that link in the comments. It is actually my own normal hero only arena, friendly matches. Yeah, only normal hero only. There will be a new mode, don't worry. There will be a new mode. It's just how well and how good that new mode is, I don't know. Because for me, fighting a boss is good. And I'll just be honest, okay, I was someone that didn't really bother with world boss after a while. I haven't played months before world boss was being removed. World boss was being removed in August. During that period, I didn't play world boss at all. I didn't play world boss for a good 2 months. Okay, so that was about 8 weeks worth of world boss I didn't play, because you didn't need world boss at that point. Back then, the problem with people not playing world boss was because there was siege defense. Siege defense was out already. Siege defense gave you super awesome rewards. Power-up stones were so much easier to build your weapons compared to getting world boss points and then buying actual physical equipment. And you have item salvage back then. So item salvage, if you guys new players probably don't know what item salvage is, basically if you have a +10 weapon, you can break it down and you get 6 +5 versions of it. That was how easy it was to build weapons back then. I think this problem is not resolved. Okay, I think this problem is still not resolved. They did increase the availability of power-up stones, so I have to give them that. But definitely the rate of building weapons is a lot slower, especially for PvP or PvE. Okay, it's a lot slower than before. In the past, you can build weapons very quickly. And I think they're just trying to put caps on players, you know, so that right now, even when we have Mythical Awakening, players who have their equipment already done, they're gonna have a much higher, better advantage compared to those who, you know, basically don't. Yes, I think the whole idea, I think world boss, the appeal was killing the boss, right? I think playing a gacha game, the appeal is facing this gigantic boss and being able to do good damage to it. I think that's why people love Castle Rush so much, because you can actually see the damage, right? You can see the output you get if you put in the right equipment. But then we don't have that now. Besides Castle Rush, we don't have that. We don't have that kind of thrill when we play the game. I think that's the right sense. We don't have the thrill because for raid, you auto clear, you can auto farm, you definitely clear it. Yes, Shane may do good damage, but you know, the goal is to kill the boss, and the boss can be killed in 1 minute, 30 seconds. The thrill is not there. So with the world boss was a mode whereby you see yourself dealing the damage, climbing, dealing the damage and improving on your score. Even though it was pretty RNG based, I think that was something they had to work on. The RNG of world boss was pretty frustrating. I'm sure there are players here like Chris who did world boss, right? Did it to a very some players I know did world boss to a very hardcore extent. And I think that was the thrill. Murderous intention. Technically you couldn't kill the boss, but you could get a very good score. Yeah, I think an unkillable boss just raking up a very good score was a thrill to most players. I think seeing the damage output was a thrill. Yeah, I think that is what is lacking in the game now. You don't have an unkillable boss besides Castle Rush. Tiesto says he loves Hatteras Celestial Tower over it. I think many players will agree with you. Yeah. Yes, it is like Castle Rush, but just with much cooler enemies instead of fighting the 7 Knights. Yeah, so I don't think we'll get an unkillable boss anymore except Castle Rush. I do hope they change Castle Rush. In terms of Korea server, they actually are using the awakened forms of the 7 Knights. But maybe they wouldn't do that for our server because the awakened forms of 7 Knights are already in guild dungeons, so maybe they don't want an overlap. But I would really hope that we get the hell mode. Wait, are we already on hell mode? Nightmare mode? I don't know. I really hope we get that next level difficulty for Castle Rush and featuring Dark Knights instead. Featuring the Dark Knights. That was something that was in Korea server actually, but they took it out now. So now the Korea server's Castle Rush is also the 7 Knights. which is sad because I thought the idea whereby you fight the Dark Knights in Castle Rush was actually pretty cool. Like it's something new. You get different skill sets for those heroes. You get different skill sets for those Dark Knights, and then yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, but unfortunately, maybe it won't happen. And at this point, whereby people can actually increase their Castle Rush score by billions, I don't think at this point they actually I don't think at this point they can do much to Castle Rush because people are already hitting that insane level. So if you're gonna increase the difficulty and reset scores, people are gonna be pissed. Yeah, mods. There will be people using hacks to increase damage. Whenever there was, I think that is also one of those theory reasons which many players have come up with, that saying that because they are hackers, right? So Netmarble decided to remove these modes which have some form of competition. So you have smart mode, whereby people try to get the top 10 ranks in order to earn the frame. And then you have people who hack the damage output of the game and easily get get an insanely short amount of time to clear the floor. So people are saying that, because Netmarble, yeah, basically what Chris said. Basically, they didn't want to do anything about. They didn't want to take action against the mods. They didn't want to seal up their game even more, so they decided to remove the mod because they ain't got no time for that. They ain't got time to patch the game well. So let's just remove the mod so people cannot use their good mods, good hacks on the game anymore because they don't have the place to use it, right? They don't have the place that makes a difference. Because these mods have competitive features and it will make a difference. And if Netmarble cannot answer for why these mods can be used, then their game is in trouble. Does the special hero selected in the Black Friday shop have Freya? I think it does. I remember they said that Freya is included in one of the special selectors. I think it does. Auto clicker, yes. I mean, yeah. I shall not say too much about that. I guess there are so many ways to get around things. So maybe that's why Brawl doesn't come out too often because it will affect. So anything with competition, basically they want to remove it. So who should we blame then? Who should we blame? Do we blame the developers? Do we blame those people who actually hack the game? Both are at fault. Well, that is true. World boss, even with the same set of equipments, it's about your the way you play it. Actually, it's basically just about RNG, right? The boss RNG, because there are some bosses which have a very standard way of fighting, like Iron Devourer, spamming Snipper only. Honestly, just spamming Snipper. There is no brain to that. The only bosses, only world bosses which I felt like were really brain worthy was Dark Crown Prince. Oh man, New Mo Wang. Wait, I'm thinking if New Mo Wang was a thing. I mean, was he really that bad? Dark Crown Prince was definitely boss worthy. So yeah, basically it goes down. I can say that if a boss has 4 skills, a boss needs 4 skills to be challenging. Isabella and Dark Crown Prince both have 4 skills, and look at how challenging they are. Polishing, oh boy. Auto clicker for polishing, but that totally works. Still though, I don't know how I don't know how polishing can be improved. Haha, I see.
I'll find a way to save us.
Let's fight until one of us dies.
Now no one would have known. Honestly, no one would have known. But I mean, yeah, that's at least that's what it's something that. But in a way, it seemed, in a way, for World Boss, people know who the top players are. People know who the top players are. People know they cannot fight the top player. Okay, and if that's the case, if people know that no matter how hard they try, they cannot get the top, eventually they will stop as well. The whole thing about playing a game is feel rewarded, feel like you are capable of doing something, which is kind of the reason why there's Brawl, because Brawl, according to the developers, for Brawl everyone is at a clean state, but of course they did not take into account that there are auto clickers, that people who use a phone and people who use a computer have a totally different experience. So that is the problem with Brawl. But the idea that they want to keep everyone equal team wise is good, so that newbies who do not have well-built teams can still get rewards, can still fight for something. So I think the problem for World Boss was that as well. I mean, one of the problems. So like, if you feel that you would never have the chance, like to actually get into the top few places, then you just won't try. You just really won't try. Because we all know like how hard it is to play World Boss. How hard you have to retry to get that even 100,000 more. Okay. And to many players, I guess the thought was like, is that worth my time? And it subsequently even died even more, I think, with Siege Defense, because you know. Yeah, so top players, the ones that try for very long, the one that keeps trying for World Boss, they know what's going on. They know what's going on. So it's really kept in that top tier, those top players, right? And I guess in a way for the developers, from the point of view of the developers, if you see a mode where only the top 10 or 5% of the players are trying so hard for, whereas the rest of the players are not actually participating actively, then that is also an issue for you, right? Because why have that mode there if you have 85%, 90% of your players not actually putting effort for? So people are really, I guess people were really just waiting for rewards. I cannot speak for everyone because when I was playing the game before the reboot, I was just farming for stuff. I was just doing my dailies, farming. I was really not playing World Boss. Okay, I was really not playing World Boss. I was doing my equipment, doing my siege defense. I mean that was auto. Yeah, basically that was it. From a day-to-day basis, you farm, you get your rubies, and I pull for heroes, and I felt happy. You know. So for other players, I don't know. Maybe on their side, what they see is that what they see is that the players just don't spend enough time in the game. I think that was on the developer side. If you have players like 90% of your player base who just go into the game for 10 minutes a day to collect your rewards, I don't think that's a very healthy thing. I don't think that's a healthy figure, healthy statistic to look at, right? Yeah, I mean, if you are geared for World Boss, you can get that 1% easily. But for players who firstly don't have the gear, even if they try, they get, you know, top 20%, then to them it's like, okay, so I get top 20%. I know I won't get anything near the top, so I'm not gonna play the rest of my time, because players in the top 10, top 1%, they are so close to each other. They know they can hit. They know they can get the top, even higher score, right? But for players below, I don't think the tiering of the rewards, that was not gonna help. So even if they get a little bit more, probably they're still there. Yeah, so the competition is more fierce at the top. Yeah.
Knowledge and information are another form of power and authority.
Which kind of makes sense, of course, because it is a position, it is a rank, it is a prestige, and I'm very sad that there was no trophy back then. Okay, there was no trophy, which kind of sucks, because getting World Boss top 10 even was a big, I think it was a deal, it was a big deal. Top 50 even, top 50 was very good already. Yeah, but I guess the rewards was not good enough. Couldn't ever match up to siege defense back then, of course. Right now, I think siege defense is also important, but you know, the rewards still, I mean, are decent. They're just decent. They're not like, oh my god. They're not like, oh my god level. PvE Shane, wow. Your question is answered in this video. Let me get the link to it, so please watch it. In this video, I talked about Shane, crit or lethal. It will clear up all your doubts about equipment for Shane. It's basically what you should give Shane video. Yeah, I mean, as what Naomi says, it's fun competing to get to page 1 if you actually are near it. If you are not near it, then some people just don't try. Some people just don't try. And I think that is also player mentality. And it also, yeah, it really is player mentality. Because people who really want to progress, people who really want to try, they will try, they will play, they will make it to the top 10%. And I think rightfully they should be the top 10% if they really do bother about the game. But of course there are like 90% of the other people who are just casually playing, you know, and then they end up not loving the game as much because it's just how they play it. Yeah, they don't enjoy the process, as you said. It's just how they play it, because if there are someone who is not if there are players, if there are people who are just not going to spend time and effort for, you know, a game, and then they deem that the game's not good, then yeah, that's on them. Like, I'm going back to what I said earlier, right? So how you what? Because I feel that once it's on the first, oh yes. Yeah, I remember when Fighter Soul was released. The whoever, it made such a big difference, really. Yeah, but see, then we have the discussion about whales. So it's not also about how hardworking you are. It's not about how much you want to progress. If you can throw money and progress, then of course that is another way. Yeah, and then you feel like you don't have the capacity to match up, right? And that's when you start to feel like, oh crap. So after 3 months of getting like top places, then just because you don't have the resources fast enough, you drop back. And then that's when you start to feel things. The impact is really immediate. Yeah. And it depends on how much you really want to still progress. Of course, things are a matter of time. Eventually you will hit that same level. Eventually there will be some, I don't know, some grades fighters so that, you know, don't matter, and that's the period where you can try to catch up. But beyond that, if they have something higher and it is crucial, then you won't have the chance. You have to get dupes to max out your hero for sure. No other way. Especially for special heroes, of course. Normal heroes you can use Venus, but special heroes you just really can't. I feel so liberated with this live stream, really, because I feel like a lot of things that I have been thinking, a lot of things that I've been feeling, just all out today. All out. But of course, it's a live stream. No one is gonna watch 2 hours 30 minutes. No one is just gonna watch 2 hours 30 minutes so of listening to my thoughts. I mean, I will try to make a shorter video. I am working on a shorter video, maybe 10 minutes. But at least I feel like getting my thoughts out, I kind of know what I'm thinking more. It's good.
I shall be the cataclysm.
150, 1,500 gold premium currency.
I shall be the cataclysm.
Wait,
It's a big plan full of
what is gold premium currency? Topaz?
I don't need to obey destiny.
Oh, Topaz.
Fight until one of us dies.
You know, wait, you get selectors or tickets? Selectors, right? 500 Topaz for one selector. I don't think she is in that selector. I don't think Freya is in that selector yet, so don't waste your Topaz on it. Freya only got released a month ago. It will take at least 6 to 8 weeks before she gets in selectors, and it's only been 4 weeks. So don't bother. Don't bother. It won't be inside. The only selector she is inside now, I think it should be the cash one, the Black Friday sales one. Other than that, I think it's really all down to farming your rubies. If you can farm well daily, you should get an income of about 200, even 200 rubies a day can make a big difference in a month, all the way until the next hero, of course. Any thoughts on Netmarble hiding teams? You know what? Can I be honest, Chris? So I have not been fighting Guild War for the past 2 weeks. It's so bad. Yes, I know, I'm so bad. Yeah. So I actually didn't know that they hide teams now. So yes. But that's pretty annoying at one in a way. Last time it really required a lot of last time I actually did how to say, when I actually went into the enemy's field and look at things and then strategize based on that. I guess now it's now it will be more challenging. It could be more fun, but yeah, I haven't actually looked at it. So as the fan says his F2P, he has 10k rubies, don't want to spend it all. You don't have to spend it all. Even if, let me tell you, even if you spend those all, even if you spend all of those 10k rubies, you may not even get 3 Freya. Okay? You may not even get 3. If you get 2, I would say that that's pretty decent. So actually, what you can do, if you really want to spend rubies, because where else will you use your rubies anyway? You can pull. I always back then when I was having less than 20k rubies, 10k rubies, I always make sure that I have 2k with me. Always make sure I have 2k so I can spend all the way until I set that limit about, okay, I will not spend any more than that, because I don't like to feel poor and never ever like to feel like I do not have enough. Yeah, I do not like to feel like, I like in the past I think rubies had more use, but now rubies purely really for pulling heroes. Yeah, or you can just wait for freebies. You said your Freya is stuck at 42, right? I think you can try to get one more, but I don't think she has a rate up now, right? She doesn't have a rate up now. So even if you spend that 10k, you may not even find her. Honestly, you may not even find her. J1, keeping up your rubies. Farm in 4-5 and 5-5. Do you use farm in 6-10? Because 6-10 is where the good soul shard drops happen. Well, okay, so farming in red, that is where the rubies are going, am I right? So that is something that I will completely, if I can high five you right now, I will high five you because I completely feel you. Because when I do raids, I feel like my ruby count doesn't go up at all, even if I farm well. Okay. So what my so what my one of my friends recommended
You came to the wrong person.
is that
Is already dead.
what one of my friends recommended is that, you know, why is that really just farm more rubies, spend time in rubies. You don't need, but soul shards are important as well. And you can still, and in fact you use less keys in world 6 compared to world 8. So using less keys in world 6, sorry, one on world 8, world 5, using less keys in world 6 means you have more keys and you can earn more rubies. Basically that is a very direct statement. You get soul shards, you use less keys. I think world 6 is great. Of course, I also spend most of my time in world 4-5 after I finished my 6-10 boost mode, because you cannot, unless you have gotten like grade 6, unless you have maxed out your grade 6 soul skills, I don't think you can say that you don't need too much soul shards, because soul shards are so important. Fighter soul is like game. Fighter soul is gonna make a big difference in everything you do. Okay. So yeah, basically you need items. I think the raid is a problem. The raid is taking a lot of rubies on a very fast basis because it's 3 keys. So one, and you finish the runs very quickly. So within a couple of hours, you can use up like 300 keys, which is almost equivalent to about 200 plus rubies. Yeah. I would say if you really do need items, then there's really no other way. Okay, but then the only way is to really reduce your raid count. Really focus on continuously farming your heroes and making sure that you do not lack the variety of heroes, because if you constantly have the same kind of heroes filling up your lineup, then you are not going to have, then the key to ruby ratio is going to fall, because you want to always make sure you have 4 fresh fodders being farmed. Okay, what else can I suggest? I think that's also, just to sidetrack, I think that's also one reason why I felt kind of discouraged, because doing raids is important, yet it is also not improving my ruby count. So I felt kind of like, oh my god, I want to, my main goal is to get heroes. If I don't have the ruby, if my ruby doesn't increase, and I feel like I'm forever ever like using up my rubies, then I will really feel super sad. Okay, but okay. Back to Caesar's raids. I haven't been hearing good things about Caesar's raids. Anyone face a slightly longer time in terms of Caesar's rates.
Attack. Mercy ends here. Now.
I think there's really only one way to get your rubies fast, and that is to make sure you have a very good variety of fodder at this point, because you are doing what is necessary. You are already putting in your work. Now it's really about refining it, such that making sure you have a lot of keys. I think having a lot of keys will make you spend less rubies. Okay. Wow, that is a lot of rubies spent for Caesar. Yeah, using less keys. I mean, not using less keys. Having more keys. Okay, which means using less rubies to buy keys is gonna help. Having a good fodder variety, maintaining that fodder variety is gonna help. And when I mean 610 is because you really do use less keys, okay? Even though your farming period is longer. So I don't know how it will offset. Maybe for you speed is more important than that one ruby, one key spend. Because you spend one more key in World 4555 compared to 610. Yeah. So maybe that's a thing. We haven't really checked that out firstly. So Chris has good Caesar rate but bad Orca rate. Okay, that's fair, I guess. Right? No one can have. I always felt that certain accounts have better rates for certain heroes. Not sure if you guys feel the same way, but I always have been feeling that way. Okay. Yeah, I think. Wow, if you're doing everything right, then it's really the luck. Then you know you are doing everything right, so you just have to continue doing it, but just refine things along the way. And yeah, hopefully you can get it soon. Yeah, you can do fusions, of course. Do more fusions. Doing fusions, if you want to increase your fodder count, I would another tip I can give you is to use the 4 stars to power up the 3 stars. Okay, then you fuse the 3 stars to get more 4 stars. You get what I mean? So instead of using the auto power up lets you feed 1 star and 2 stars to 3 stars or to 4 stars. That is convenient because it is an automatic system, but if you really want to, how should I say, if you really want to try to maximize what you have, then the 4 stars, feeding it to the 3 stars, and then fusing those 3 star plus 5 to get more 4 stars, that's something you can do, which is kind of like reverse power up. What I mean by reverse is you're using the higher rank you're using the higher rank hero to power up the lower rank hero. Like how you can use 2 stars to power up the 1 star, then you fuse the 1 star and get more 2 stars, and you just continue that so that you actually generate more fodder than you are losing the fodder. You know what I mean? Because if you do the reverse power up method, you realize that you will get more fusion pairs. You get more fusion pairs compared to when you feed 1 star all to 2 star, or more, all the 1 star and 2 star to 3 star. Then you're feeding away about 11 or 7 to 15 heroes to 1 3 star to make him plus 5, right? Whereas in the reverse way, you're using 2 4 stars to feed to 1 3 star to make it plus 5. So you save the goal there, and then you have more resources to play with. So you have more resources to create more fusion pairs, and then you have more more fodder where you can level up and earn more rubies, so that maintains your fodder count. So I hope that helped. Thank you so much for supporting me, and yeah, hopefully it kept you progress from there. 2-year hiatus. 7 months ago, what happened 7 months ago? 6 months, wait, in June, how long was 7 months ago? May. In May, what happened in May? What made you come back? Just curious, because I don't remember anything significant in May. In June, we had Li Bai and Brawl. In May, was it Yon He? Yeah, in June we had Li Bai and Brawl, and then in July we had Mythical Awakening. So May should be Yon He, right? Yon He and Karma. Oh, okay. June. So around the Li Bai phase, Brawl. Oh, true. Oh, that's actually July. No, Truth came out on August. Yeah, Truth came out in August because July was Mythical Awakening. So Truth was in August, the first August update. So it's been 4 months. So yeah, I probably will be leaving soon. I felt like this was a very nice live stream where I just had to talk about my thoughts. And thank you guys for joining in. Oh, thanks so much, and that means a lot. I never really felt like I I really make an impact in the to bring people back to a game, because a lot of focus. I feel like when I make videos, a lot of focus is on current players, and I think a lot of YouTubers who do videos also kind of focus on current players, of course, but I guess yeah, so that really means a lot, because as much as I would love to, would love to. Oh my god, I made it to Supreme. Wow, I made it to Supreme. To Supreme. Wait, I'm in Supreme 1, 3, right? Oh, that's good. That feels good. A bit unexpected though, because I thought like it will be just a. I never thought that I would push that far. Okay, but anyway. Thank you, Brian, for following. If you're watching, subscribing, I mean. Thanks, Jaewon. I will continue working hard on my videos, but you know, I don't know why, but the previous update there was nothing much, so I really just felt like, oh, okay, so there's a dungeon and a hero review, and basically I can call it quits. I mean, basically that's the end of the update, right? Hopefully we have more. I think yeah, I would really start to reorganize the entire beginner's guide. I mean, I already do have 5 episodes done from way back in July, and I just need to change things according to whatever the reboot, which I haven't done. Oh yes, Lone Ranger. Yeah, it's a lot of luck. A lot of luck. Some people use 20 accessories to get from level 4 to level 5. Patreon, yes, I actually, it's something that naturally will cross your mind, right? After you have been doing this for a while. I actually have something to actually there is something rolled out for YouTube for YouTubers in my country now, and that is the channel membership. Yeah, so I think that is very similar to Patreon, and I'm thinking of looking into that instead because it is more direct for people who actually watch the channel, follow the channel. So hopefully that will take off, but you know, I really have no, I really don't need, I mean, how much I don't want to force it on anyone. Of course, this is totally optional, and but I will try. I'm still working out the details, like what I can actually offer, because I don't want to take people's money and end up not doing anything significant. You know what I mean? Yeah. My favorite 7-head hero is Rin. For female. For male. Trying to remember all the male now. Why does there's no immediate name, so I guess there's no favorite male. um, um, no males in. Yeah, there's really no immediate male hero that I really like at the moment. You know what? I'm gonna Google. Because that's how bad my memory is now at 1 AM. I'm gonna. I think it would. No, I don't know. I was gonna say it could be one of the hidden masters. But... Okay, if I had to pick one, I would pick Ryan. I think he looks cool. He looks very modern, and I like his weapon a lot. That chain sword thing, super cool. Yeah, I like heroes with very unique weapons or looks. If I had to pick a second one, then I think Platin. But I don't like Platin with that hair. Yeah, but Platin has a very cool weapon. If that thing is called his weapon, I don't know what's that thing called. Let me look at his details. Platin. His sacred. No. Does that armor have a name? Apparently not. Is it in the game? Honestly, I don't know. Oh, for backstory. In terms of backstory, then yeah, definitely not Ryan. Ryan has no story. If backstory, if I pick something on backstory, if the law based on law, I would choose Rudy. Yeah, I like how they made him
I'll find a way
darker.
to save us.
Rudy was also my first 7 Knight when I joined the game. He was also one of the more annoying ones because you know for Castle Rush you can exchange for a 7 Knight, right? With the points. So back then I think it was only my first few months of playing. First first few months of playing, and then I was really hoping. I think back then I was trying to build my Eileen, I was trying to build my Rachel well, and then I got Rudy, and then like I felt like why do I have you? Like totally useless at that point of time before his revamp. I remember there was one period where Rudy was super OP in arena. Yeah, but um yeah, so that I would say he's one of my he has a special significance in my 7 Night game. Yeah, and I would love to see where he goes honestly, because as you know, Rudy turned his back against the 7 Knights now, and no idea what's gonna happen to him. So I think his story will be super interesting.
Let the hunting begin. Attack.
So yeah, I will probably finish off this match. Okay, finish off this match and then I will have to go. Thank you for joining me in this live stream. So we're gonna enjoy this match. Gonna look at this match. So the battery eliminated my Wukong. So another tip for you guys who are still watching would be, if you really want to do well against battery teams, then make sure your Wukong has the highest attack on your team, so that she will target Wukong instead of Freya or Chris, because you want Freya and Chris to stay all the way to the end as far as possible. And Wukong actually revives, so the elimination from battery isn't really an elimination per se, it's just an instant kill, so he can still revive. So that is a good strategy if you want to think about. Rudy's father? Who's Rudy's father? I remember in the past this rank was like this rank should still be grand. All Spike's father, Galidus. Oh, we're not done yet. At least let me finish the match. But yes, good night. After the match, hopefully I win. I feel like my team is all poison. Battery's poison is super OP. Doesn't die, it doesn't go. As you can see, the enemy's Caesar is pretty tanky, because usually it'll be Chris in the end, but enemy Chris is gone. Oh yeah, my Caesar just killed the enemy Wukong, and I think that is also thanks to his madness that proc. So at this point, I don't know what's the best accessory for Caesar. You can give Vigor. Vigor is one, Madness is one. Hide, haven't seen anyone using. Maybe someone used along this match. Right, poison spreads, and yeah, poison is permanent. There's no turn-based poisoning. Super OP. Sometimes it makes me feel that even Kagura can be used, because Kagura also has poison on her basic attack. But then again, it's Kagura. She doesn't have eliminate, so. Ooh! Wow! Okay, that was a good way to win and end off the stream.
Victory. Let's fight until one of us dies.
30 wins, 5 loss. Where's my Supreme Trophy? Do I get it? How do I get it? Is it gonna tell me? Yay, Supreme Quest cleared. Which one is it? Ah, is it this? No? Is it... I can't tell. What's this? Oh wait, I think it should be one of the bottom ones. Oh, it's just this. Okay, this. This Supreme rank. Plus HP. Oh, it's the same as the Grand. So okay, we get one more. Plus Supreme rank. It's only what, Sunday? Wait, it's just Sunday. So it's just one day after the no, it's when are they gonna reset? Are they gonna reset the on Saturday, which is 1 week later? I don't know if I can hang in there for that long, honestly. Yeah, I really don't think I can hang in there because it's just 200 above the grand one. So unless I spend my rubies just to hang in there for one Supreme trophy, otherwise I think it's gonna be very difficult. But it will be a nice addition, for sure. I can't wait though to get my fighter soul up because I'm just about 300 to the next one. I'm gonna check and kick people. Okay, I have one free slot, so whoever adds me first, I will just accept the person who adds me first. Okay, so I think that's all. Why is there no music though? Okay, there is music. Okay, so that's all I have for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon, hopefully next live stream. Okay, I will try to live stream more. I just have to say that sometimes it gets, life happens, so I don't have the time to really sit down here for 3 hours to talk to you guys. Yeah. Good night. Thank you, J1. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lone Ranger. Thank you, Naomi. Who else is around? I will add you guys later. Maybe I'll add you in later. Okay. Good night. Thank you.